Well, Coach, nice relaxing win, I'm sure, just like you wanted in the first game. Just kind of take us through the emotions of being down 15 and then up and then think you've won it and then think just the roller coaster may be the best way to say it.
Yeah, I just felt it felt like a little bit of two halves. I felt like we brought a lot more energy in the second half. It's going to be interesting to watch the film. I think the big stat that we see, obviously getting out rebounded, is distressing to us. And our three-point shooting percentage and probably field goal percentage overall. I mean, I think we're better than that, but for whatever reason, it was a bad night for a lot of people. So for us to kind of turn it around and be a little bit more dominant in the paint in the second half and pick and choose some of those three-point shots that we just relied on in the first half, I think was real key for us. Clearly, the versatility of our team, being able to go smaller to match them a little bit better and guard them a little bit better, I thought helped us. But this is going to be a real learning curve for us. This team and Eastern was fantastic tonight. Jody and her staff are amazing and do a great job. And we're lucky to have won it.
For you, obviously the 25-point win would have been a little more relaxing, but how much do you think it's going to help the team in the long run and build the resolve of having to come back 15 and not being able to rely on the players that maybe you would have looked to in the past and have some new players have to kind of step up and take the reins for themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I really do feel like we have some players on the team that can help, and I've got to find ways to sub and play more people. There's no question. I have a lot of confidence in this group. This just felt like we got on a good roll, and I didn't want to mess it up at that point. But, young players are going to have to live and learn a little bit. Our older players made a lot of mistakes tonight. LA is usually just phenomenal in scouts, and she probably made a few mistakes defensively, in the first half and in the second half. Again, something that she doesn't do, but you trust her so much overall, you just don't take her out of the game, whereas a freshman makes that mistake, you're like, you got to pull them. But I think that the leadership of the older players kind of came through and calmed us when we needed to be calm, and the young players are bringing the energy and confidence and guts, and we just got to mix that and marry that and be better at making sure we're getting to the strengths of our team. I don't think I answered your question. I don't remember what you asked.
I don't either. And then just the AT3 at the end. You've talked in the past about how she just is, almost too relaxed sometimes for your liking. But to have her kind of step into that moment right there, what kind of goes through your head as you see her take that shot? Which she said she thought you guys were down 3, and that's why she took a 3.
Well, I mean, that's not so good. But I felt like we were just on fumes. I thought we got a lot of good looks in the overtime, and it just felt like we were, we weren't making any shots there either. So it was just, she does that kind of thing. She had a great game, I think, overall. Smart, willing to take big shots, love the ball in her hands. And it's why she played so many minutes in that second half. But same idea, like Shasha doing that for us, the 3 that she made, just no conscience whatsoever and willing to take big shots. I love the fact that we've got players on the team that aren't afraid of those big moments.
You said you may not have liked that defense in the first half, but really what sparked that 19-2 surge was defense.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, they really spread us out, and we were real kind of dragging 2 people to the ball, and then when they'd throw back, we'd be in bad closeouts, and they would just kind of rip us apart and scored at the rim, scored 3s because we didn't get to them. So we did a little bit more switching in the second half. Again, got to be able to play different ways, and I think, again, against a team that is kind of not too big, we could afford to do that. But I think they exposed some things about how we guarded that we've got to clear up and be better with. And more than anything, we need Alex and Candace to be bigger players for us, and that's on us not getting them ready for some of the, they're breaking in and getting hands on balls and then being able to get some in and outs. I mean, and be able to catch deep and score the ball. So we got to keep working on that. Those young posts have a hard job to deal with all the physicality in the game. So that's the one area that I really want to make sure that we're growing in as we go forward.
You said preseason that Tara was going to be a 3-level scorer, and you really needed that inside presence from her tonight, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, she's her again, we always say it, young players don't catch in traffic with any kind of poise. They rush through things. They get things blocked. They travel before they get the shot off. And by the time you're a senior, you understand what that means. You just catch in traffic. You pivot. You handle yourself. You use your dribble wisely. You use shot fakes and step throughs. And she's just become a master at that. She can score at all levels, but her back to the basket, us getting some paint points is huge for our program so that we just don't rely on the three-point shot.
Coach, what was kind of the conversation or the adjustments at halftime that sparked that run in the third quarter?
Well, I really do think it was just the idea that we had given up so many offensive rebounds. Like, they just outplayed us in certain areas of the game, and we said, we went into the game not wanting that to happen. I think we relied on the three-point shot, so we were a little bit finessey while they were just kind of driving it down our throats. We made some mistakes and came off shooters, and they took advantage of every mistake we made. And then obviously just not scoring the basketball, and no one was rebounding. So we just wanted to have a little more fight in the boards. I thought our freshmen did that pretty well. They went to the boards and created some opportunities for us. And I just think we were a little bit more present on the ball, a little bit more pressure on the ball. But again, we've got to be a little bit more versatile than we were tonight. Maybe a zone here or there to change the rhythm. There's some things I think we can do.
You're in a pretty similar defensive situation, obviously at the end of the fourth quarter, up 2 with 4 seconds, and then the end of overtime, up 1 with 4 seconds. Tara said that she thought they ran pretty much the same play in those two situations. What did you kind of learn from the first one to the last one that ultimately helped you adjust and then make the defensive play?
Well, we wanted to switch everything in the first one, too, and we did. It's just Howard is coming so fast that she still got by us. And that's Tara, who her length usually bothers some smaller players. But so we did the same thing. Now Marta we think she's a phenomenal defender. She's got length. She can keep people in front of her. As she gets better and more used to this, she's going to be really good. She can guard a lot of positions. So she was, by then, everybody had gotten screamed at. Howard drives right. Don't let her go right. And we did some of the craziest things to let her go right. So, great play from them, and clearly just almost got to the rim again. It did get to rim again a lot, but it was just a great play by Marta to really sit on that right hand and make her at least adjust and have to turn back.
Obviously, on the men's side, they have a lot of ties to Eastern Washington basketball. So now to have a game like this tonight in an overtime classic like that against Eastern, how key do you think that is sort of in forming more interest in a rivalry between two kind of local opponents?
Love it. Again, just respect Jody and what she's building there. Obviously worked in the Big Sky and understand trying to get games and go all over the country and playing people. They make us better. They are so solid in so many ways. We're going to be able to watch this film and be better because of it. They brought a lot of people into our gym, and so I think we definitely have them on the schedule again to play here next year.
You guys had 9 blocks and 11 steals tonight, got a little feisty on defense, created over 20 points off turnovers. How do you think getting those points off turnovers are helping to make up for that rebounding disparity that you saw tonight?
I think that and just we just didn't make enough threes to soften them up, so we had to score in the paint and had to get to the rim some, had to take twos versus some rhythm threes. But the defense really led. Again, I can think of 3 or 4 where we intercepted, sideline plays or plays that they had advantage, and if they score it, they could, pull away from us. So we've got some good, strong bodies and length, and I think we can disrupt people in what they're doing. This was a great example of getting into people and bothering them a little bit and creating some turnovers from that.
Obviously, Charlotte had a big shot to tie the game up at the end of regulation. What do you think that big moment means for her to start her young career?
Yeah, Shasha is amazing. Again, just tough. She's just tough. She's gritty. She's intense. She's worked so hard. All of these freshmen, they work so hard. They're in the gym every single day. They want extra workouts. They want to be really, really good. Looking at this freshman class, we have just such a great future ahead of us because of their passion to win and want to work at winning. But I just love the fact that I think she was 0 for 3, maybe at halftime, and then had no hesitation whatsoever in taking any shot that came her way. So, yeah, going to make some mistakes. We've just got to keep seasoning them and making sure they're aware of situations in the game, but couldn't be happier for her. She's worked really hard for this and made a huge impact for us tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
One more.
Just a thought on Thursday.
Well, it starts now. Everybody can scout a little bit better. Everybody's going to know players a little bit better and things that you do. So we've got a lot of work to do. I think Stanford's playing here in a little bit. So, Stanford, they're good, and they got great players, and they're running probably pretty much the same thing they've done. And, again, Kate's been there and been doing this for so long. She's going to be a phenomenal, just stepping into Tara's position. But clearly Stanford, appreciate them so much for scheduling us, kind of the same thing. They don't have to do that. It's a home and away, so they're coming back to us, in a year from now. So just want that rivalry, want to play big-time teams and big-time players because we want to be good in March. We want to be prepared for whatever we might face in March. So excited about the opportunity, and hopefully in the next 2 days we get a lot better. Thanks, everybody. Go Cougs!